strategy about, especially about the written part of the IELTS exam. That really helped me a lot. Websites for each of the section, I will attach them in the video at a later point of time, so that I can share my experience, and moreover the resource material or the websites or the applications from where I prepared for the. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. And this video is about the most important thing for anyone who is planning to apply abroad, especially for the next year or maybe years after that. So this video is about IELTS exam, and by the end of this video I will tell you how I prepared for the exam, and within 8 weeks of preparation I was able to get an overall score of 8 with a perfect 9 in reading and listening. So stay tuned till the very end of this video so that I can share my experience, and moreover the resource material or the websites or the applications from where I prepared for the. I believe this is the right time to prepare for the exam, because right now September is going on exam, and thus I was able to get such a great score within such a short time span. I believe this is the right time to prepare for the exam, because right now September is going on. It's almost the end of the September. So right now you can book the exam for November last week, so that you have 2 months of time to prepare for the exam, and then you can give the exam, and probably you will get your result by December 10, December 15, which is the starting time to apply for the universities, the first intake time. So let's start with week one. So in the initial week, the first week or the initial days, what you have to do is give the mock exam, and the websites for each of the section I will attach them in the video at a later point of time. So stay tuned till the very end. So in the starting, you have to give mock tests so that you will at least know, at what level you are standing currently, and you can then make your goals, your aims to where you have to reach. Let's suppose you give your mock exam in the first week, and your score that you are getting is 5.5. So then you can set an objective of at least getting 6 or 6.5 by the end of this 8 weeks, which is good enough to be accepted at any of the universities, especially in Europe. And if you are starting off with a 6.5, then you can set an aim for 7 to 7.5. So this is what you have to do in the first week, and that is understand your strength, understand your weakness. You would get to know which section is your strength and in which section you have to work more. After week one of knowing your strength and weakness, so from week two there was not a definitive order or like a set schedule for me that I'll do this on these days. So what I used to do was, I had just separated the 4 sections, and I used to do them randomly, because I don't believe that for myself and even for most of the students that you can follow a certain timetable. Although you should make a goal of yours, like till the end of the week I'll do this, and by the end of the week you should do that. Doesn't matter if you were working very hard on 3 days and the rest 2 days you were just sleeping around. So it doesn't matter, although consistency matters in some cases. But what I mean to say is you should just set a goal and achieve that. Doesn't matter how you achieve it. So now I will talk about each section separately and how I prepared for them. So let's start off with reading. That was, I think, my most biggest strength among all the 4 sections, along with the listening, because I got a perfect 9 in both of them. So in this reading, I would say how you should prepare is, there are some websites on Google. I will attach the link and also mention it on the screen somewhere here or here. So you have to go on to these websites and solve the questions, the paper, the mock exam regularly. Try to solve at least 2 to 3 reading passage questions. And the strategy I would say is, see, first of all, just read the paragraph, like skim through it, but at least you should know the important things happening in the paragraph, in the passage, like in which paragraph a particular event was happening. So you should know that, but you don't have to spend a lot of time reading the passage. So first of all, just skim through it, just take a quick reading through it, and then go on to the questions. And when you look at the question, you should definitely should click that you read this question or this part in this paragraph. So if this is not happening, then it means that you are either you are reading too fast or you are not able to understand, or something is definitely wrong on which you have to work. So this is what the reading passage, I believe, is all about. And sometimes true or false questions can be tricky, for which I mean, see, sometimes you must have seen videos which say that if this is happening, it is definitely true or false, which is not usually the case. Basically, with time, you would get to understand the true or false. It's just about practice and practice. So, as I've mentioned earlier in this video, in the whole of the 8 weeks, you just have to practice the test, and I'm sure by the end of the 6th or the 7th week, you will be very confident about the exams. And then let's come to the listening part. So also for the listening part, I used the same website that I used for the reading one, and on that website there were questions along with the audios in a similar pattern how it takes place in the IELTS exam. So from that you can be 100% prepared for the exam, because when I was giving the mock exams, I was able to get 32, 35, sometimes 36, even 37. But on the day of the final exam, I was able to get a perfect 9. So as I have mentioned earlier, it is only about practice and doing things on a regular basis, and also under a time limit, according to the standard time limit that is there in the IELTS exam, because that is how you will be able to complete the exam under a lot of pressure. Now let's talk about the writing part. So the writing part, there are two main broad questions, in which the first one is you are giving either an image or maybe a bar or pie diagram, something like that, and you have to describe those things in your own words. And after that, you are given a passage, like a comprehension thing on which you have to write. So the resource material or the website that came very handy for me was IELTS Advantage. It is a YouTube channel, and you can follow that. You can use the strategy about, especially about the written part of the IELTS exam. That really helped me a lot, and I was able to get 7, though I was not expecting it. And also, one thing that I have noticed is of very great importance in the writing exam is that use the word like therefore, furthermore, with respective to, nevertheless. So basically, just try to learn more of these words that you can use at the start of the paragraph, so that you are not repeating the word therefore again and again, or furthermore again and again. So that is why. And also, one of the most common words that students use is that I think. Like if they are writing about something, they will write, I think this should be this. So you can use different words for the same thing, like in my opinion, I believe, something like that. So basically, you have to use different words for the same thing. You just don't have to repeat the same thing over and over again. That is what I think is one of the most important aspects of writing. Again, this is all from my experience. I'm not an expert on the IELTS exam, but I'm just telling you about my whole experience. So since we have covered the 3 sections, so the remaining one, I believe the most difficult one for many of the students is the speaking part. And I also understood at very starting of my preparation, the week 1, that my speaking was my biggest weakness among the 4 of the sections, and that is why I tried to give a little more emphasis on speaking than the other 3 sections. And the preparation, how I prepared for it, was I used an application called Baby IELTS Code. I will write the name on the screen. So that really helped, because in that application there is a similar format to the IELTS speaking exam, and the AI keeps on asking you question and you have to give the answer, and the AI records it, and at the end of the session it will give you a score based on your output. And the maximum I got on that app was 7 out of 9, and in the exam I got 6.5, so that was pretty close. So I think that app also helped me a lot, because in the starting I was not able to speak for 2 minutes, but till the final weeks of my exam preparation, I was able to speak at least for the whole 2 minutes. And even on the day of the exam, I think I spoke for around 1.5, 1.6 minutes, but I believe that was enough to get a score of 6.5. So this was all about the 4 sections, how I prepared for it, how I got a good score within just 8 weeks of preparation. And I believe so can you, because it's all about strategy, it's all about practice. And also because I know some of my friends who were there with me during the school time, and they also gave the same exam, and I believe that their English was far superior than mine, and still is. But still they got less marks than me in the IELTS exam, because as I said, it's all about practice and how you prepare for the exam, the strategy that you are using. And you can get those strategies from the YouTube channel or from the websites that I have mentioned, and thus you can prepare for the exam well in advance. So just follow these steps, and hopefully it will help you to get a good score. And also, if you need any other kinds of tips for the IELTS exam, you can definitely book a 1-on-1 session with me through the TalkMate link, which is mentioned in the pinned comment and also in my YouTube channel description. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching it. I hope you liked it. Do like and subscribe for more such content.